problem is no husband wants sympathy sex.
It's not sympathy sex,
Let me finish. Or we don't want settlement sex. Like,
so then you don't want sex.
I'd rather you say, not tonight.
Would you rather
Let's do it another time.
You would rather me just say no. Now choose your words.
And no, but I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna say that because
would you rather me say no?
Having sexual relations, intercourse, sex, mating, coming together with your husband, with your wife on some. I'm gonna do it because I know you want it. It feels like it can make a man feel a little bit weird. And when I say weird, it's like she didn't want it, but she gave it to me anyway. That don't give you like R vibes, like a little bit?
R?
Like rapish vibes? No, because the way...
No.
So the way, like, for men...
Rapist, Henry?
No, check this out. Like, we process differently. Like, we can want it so much and you feel so obligated and you, like, force yourself to do it. That's like... That's not consensual.
So you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Therefore, you should listen twice as much as you should talk. The first problem in this video is that she's not listening. She's not hearing what he's saying. She's not attentive to his emotions. What he's explaining is something that the overwhelming majority of men that I've ever talked to or counseled have to deal with. And that is the fact that I'm trying to express my emotions. I'm trying to express how I feel about something. But instead of listening to how I feel about something, you're more concerned about how you feel about it, what you think about it. And you're trying to determine what I should feel about it. And that doesn't work. No one has the right nor the authority to take away my agency of feeling however the hell I feel about something. Now, I could think about something incorrectly and therefore feel about it incorrectly, but let me finish my expression. Let me finish what I'm saying before you start talking so that you can have full awareness of what I'm saying before you start interjecting. This is why in every relationship I've ever had, whether friend or romantic, if I'm talking and expressing myself and you decide you want to interrupt, I'm going to just stop talking. And after a while, I'm just going to end the conversation and just remove myself because you're not listening. You only want to be heard and you only want to be right. And this is why I don't do debates, because in a debate, most of the time, the people just want to be right instead of trying to gain higher levels of understanding. This is so vital in a relationship that you gain higher levels of understanding of what a person is trying to express so that you can then understand the person and then think about it from their perspective, not your own. And yes, let me tell you a little story. This is the beginning of what ended my first relationship, my first marriage, my marriage of 17 years, is the mere fact that if you keep telling me no, and then when you do give me some sex, and the sex is, it seems like you're doing it out of duty, you're doing it unwantingly, I don't feel desired. And when you go 11 out of the 17 years, actually more than that, about 15 out of the 17 years feeling that way, after a while, you stop asking. After a while, you stop trying. And after a while, old Susie Mae Rottencrotch, as we would say in the Marine Corps, starts to look pretty good. But instead of going to Susie Mae Rottencrotch, I just leave the relationship. Some people don't. Then there are those who stay in the relationship and they're unhappy and they get mean and they start being distant towards one another. And then all other sorts of problems are now appearing in the relationship that didn't exist before. And what is the root of it? You made him feel like you were having sex with him as a duty. Who wants that? Who wants that? That's like I'm standing with a person and then somebody comes up and invites that person to the party. And then they look over at me and say, oh yeah, you know what? You're invited too. No, you really don't want me to be there. So now you want me to come there and feel awkward the entire time? That's how a man feels when his wife is giving him sympathy sex, giving him duty sex. He feels like, oh, I'm the odd person here. I'm here and it's all just, something that you're doing reluctantly because you want to keep the roof or keep the partnership in the household or keep whatever it is, really just keeping the marriage instead of keeping the emotional and the emotional connection and the commitment to one another. You want to keep the title of marriage, the title of wife, but yet not have the true commitment and connection of marriage. And that connection is renewed every time you make love to each other. And there's a difference between having sex and making love to one another. And she just didn't get it, as many don't. You think a man wants to get up and go to work every day? No, he doesn't. But when a man has a great wife who's taking care of the household, taking care of, they ain't got to be big. When a man has a great wife that's giving him peace, and she is showing that she has desires for him and desires to be in that relationship and loves being in that relationship, even though he may hate his job, when he think about her and benefiting her, he skips his happy ass right on to work, enjoying it as much as he possibly can, because he knows he's doing something. The job is the thing that gets the attitude of, I just got to be here. But she gets the joy. She gets the commitment. She gets the connection. She gets the smiles, the happiness. She gets all the other good stuff. He'll leave that bullshit at work. But when he comes home and he's dealing with the sympathy sex, the bullshit from work, it's going to come home with him. So ladies, you can try to justify this all day. There were many women in the comments of this video who were saying that, well, what is he doing to make her feel that way? Is he helping around the house? Is he helping with the kids? Is he helping? Is he helping? Is he helping? Is he helping? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? Are you going to the job with him and helping him do the work? Are you going sitting in the meetings and helping him deal with the bullshit managers? Are you doing any of the things that he got to deal with? Where is the commentary on that? There's never commentary on that. There's always the me, her commentary. The, women stick together, SJW bullshit that goes on, instead of saying, you know what? I married this man because I desired this man. So no matter what comes our way, I'm still going to desire this man. And if, as things change in a relationship, if you need the help and he doesn't recognize it, open your mouth. You open your mouth about everything else. Open your mouth about that. And then if he rejects it, maybe you don't desire him anymore. And then if you don't desire him anymore, then call it a day. Walk away from the relationship. Why sit there and maintain a relationship that's filled with toxicities? That makes absolutely no sense. This life is the only one you got. This life is precious. Every moment is precious. Why are you wasting it with someone that you don't even really desire anymore, that you don't even want to be with, that you would rather they be gone? Just be by yourself or find someone that does match up. Find you that dude who likes to cook and clean and do all these other things that you now desire in a man, because maybe he is not that man anymore. Move the fuck on instead of sitting there torturing yourself. Because think about it, ladies. You're literally torturing yourself by staying in a relationship where you're not happy. Does that make any sense whatsoever? Logically or emotionally, it doesn't. So either desire your man, either have the desires for your man or don't. But if you do, don't give him sympathy sex. No, baby, you know what? I don't feel like tonight, but, I do desire you. And, I just had a rough day or whatever it is. We can understand that if it happens every now and then. But when it's consistent, you just don't desire. You just don't have any desire for me. And if my wife doesn't desire me, well, time for us to go. Time to call it a day. Because I refuse, just as she refuses, to live a life with someone and you're just not happy with them. So always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.